Today's study is to help us construct an ellipse using the concentric circles method. Okay, so to start with, if we say a concentric circle or concentric circles, they are circles with the same center. And if we say an ellipse is a figure with eccentricity between 0 and 1. For the case of a circle, let's consider a circle. A circle has eccentricity 0. So because of that, if we take the center to the circumference of the circle, they have the same magnitude. That's what we call the radius. But if we take the case of an ellipse, if you take the center, because the eccentricity is not 0, from the center to the upper part of the ellipse is different from the center to either sides of the ellipse. So because of that, we have two distances called the semi-major axis and the semi-minor axis of the ellipse. The semi-major, if we say something is major, we will say it is the most important one. So if we take the ellipse, the semi-major axis is the longest, let's say, radius of the ellipse. So it's this part to this part. That's the semi-major axis. It's the same, it has the same magnitude as this part. And the semi-minor axis is the shorter radius. That's the upward and the downward distance. So with the help of the concentric circles method, we can be able to construct an ellipse. So first, we will construct two concentric circles, one with diameter equal to the semi-minor axis and one with diameter equal to the semi-major axis. So let's say we are constructing an ellipse with semi-minor axis 4 centimeters and semi-major axis 10 centimeters. So we have to open our circle to the distance of 2, so that when we draw the circle, we have the diameter of 4. That corresponds to the semi-minor axis. So let's draw our circle with diameter that corresponds to the semi-minor axis. So I'll draw that circle here. And I'll draw another circle with diameter that corresponds to the semi-major axis. Because they are concentric circles, they should have the same center. So let's see this, my next circle, that corresponds, whose diameter corresponds to the semi-major axis. So I'll draw that circle too. After the circle is drawn, I will first divide the circle into 4 parts. So I'll divide it into 2 this way with the help of my t-square and my z-square. I divide it again. Okay. So after that, I will divide each quarter of the circle into 3. So because it's 90 degrees, each quarter of the circle is 90 degrees, I'll measure 30 from here. I'll measure 30 from here, 30 from here. This part too, I'll measure 30 and 30 from here. There is no need measuring another 30 from here, because if I take a point where I've measured the 30 through the center and I draw a line there, it will give me that other 30 at the other side. So I'll just draw it through the center to the center. To the center. Okay. So I'm done. The next thing is to join corresponding points on the circumference with straight lines. So when I take this point, it corresponds to this point. So I join it with a straight line, a vertical line. I join it. I take this point and this point, I join it with a vertical line. I take this point and this point, I join it with a vertical line. Take the last 2 points too, I join it with a vertical line. After that, I'll come to my smaller circle, which corresponds to the semi-minor axis, and I draw a vertical line where the slant lines that we use to divide the circle, where it intersected that small circle, I'll draw a vertical line to the vertical lines I've drawn. So I'll take this one, I draw a vertical line. So let me correspond it to this point. So I'll draw a vertical line. I'll draw a vertical line. I'll come to this part, a smaller circle. So I draw it to touch this vertical line. I draw it to touch this vertical line. I come up. So this circle. I'll draw. I come to the last part. I draw. So with that, I indicate my points where I've drawn the horizontal lines. This part is there, this part is there, so I'm holding my hairs. I indicate. So after I've indicated my points, with the help of my French curves, this is the French curve. The help of my French curves, I join the points to get my ellipse. So taking the 2 points, join, taking the 2 points, join. I join my points. I join my points. So I've now obtained my ellipse.